Angelo. Hmm. Angelo. Trust me, trust me. Angelo. Aeschylus.
My lord, I think
Of government, the properties to unfold would seem in me to affect speech and discourse, since I am put to know that your own science exceeds in that the lists of all advice my strength can give you.
thank you,
The
but there
nature of our people, our cities' institutions, and the terms for common justice, you're as pregnant in as art and practice hath enriched any that we remember. Call hither Angelo. What figure of us think you he will bear? For you must know we have with special soul elected him our absence to supply, and given his deputation all the organs of our own power. What think you of it?
if any in Vienna be of worth, to undergo such ample grace and honor, it is Lord Angelo. He comes.
Always obedient to your grace's will, I come to know your pleasure.
Angelo.
No, Holy Father, throw away that thought. Believe not that the dribbling dart of love can pierce a complete bosom. Why I desire thee to give me secret harbor hath a purpose more grave.
May your grace speak of it.
Angelo, there is a kind of character in thy life that to the observer doth thy history fully unfold. Thyself and thy belongings are not thine own so proper as to waste thyself upon thy virtues, they on thee. Heaven doth with us as we with torches do, not light them for themselves, for if our virtues did not go forth of us, 'twere all alike as if we had them not. Therefore, Angelo, in our remove be thou at full ourself. Mortality and mercy in Vienna live in thy tongue and heart. Aeschylus, though first in question, is thy secondary. Take thy commission.
My holy sir, I have delivered to Lord Angelo, a man of stricture and firm abstinence, my absolute power and place here in Vienna. He supposes me traveled to Poland, for so I've strewed it in the common ear, and so it is received.
Now, good my lord, let there be some more test made of my metal before so noble and so great a figure be stamped upon it.
No more evasion. We've with a leavened and prepared choice proceeded to you. Therefore take your honors.
Now, pious sir, you will demand of me why I do this?
Gladly, my lord.
We have strict statutes and most biting laws, which for these 14 years I have let slip, even like an overgrown lion in a cave that goes not out to prey. Now, as fond fathers, having bound up the threatening twigs of birch, only to stick it in their children's sight for terror not to use, in time the rod becomes more mocked than feared, so our decrees. Dead to infliction, too themselves are dead. And liberty plucks justice by the nose. The baby beats the nurse, and quite athwart goes all decorum.
It rested in your grace to unloose this tide of justice when you pleased, and it in you more dreadful would have seemed than in Lord Angelo.
I do fear too dreadful, since 'twas my fault to give the people scope. 'Twould be my tyranny to strike and gall them for what I bid them do. For we bid this be done, when evil deeds have their permissive pass, and not the punishment. Therefore, indeed, my father, I have on Angelo imposed the office, who may in the ambush of my name strike home, and yet my nature never in the fight to do in slander.
Our haste from hence is of so quick condition that it prefers itself and leaves unquestioned matters of needful value. We shall write letters to you, so fare you well. To the hopeful execution do I leave you of your commission.
Yet give leave, my lord, that we may bring you something on the way.
My haste may not admit it. Your scope is as mine own. So to enforce or qualify the laws as to your soul seems good. So fare you well.
The heavens give safety to your purposes.
Lead forth and bring you back in happiness.
Thank you. Fare you well.
And to behold his sway, I will, as 'twere a brother of your order, visit both prince and people. Therefore, I prithee, supply me with the habit and instruct me how I may formally in person bear me like a true friar.
I shall desire you, sir, to give me leave to have free speech with you.
More reasons for this action at our more leisure shall I render you. Only this one.
A power I have, but of what strength and nature I am not yet instructed.
Lord Angelo is precise.
'Tis so with me.
Scarce confesses that his blood flows, or that his appetite is more to bread than stone. Hence shall we see, if power change purpose, what our seemers be.
Take those lips away that so sweetly were forsworn, and those eyes the break of day, lights that do mislead the morn.
How now?
There's one yonder been arrested and carried away to prison, worth 5,000 of you.
Who's that?
Marry, sir, that's Claudio, Signor Claudio.
Claudio to prison? 'Tis not so.
Nay, but I know it is. I saw him arrested, I saw him carried away, and moreover, within these 3 days, his head is to be chopped off.
After all this fooling? I would not have it so. Art thou sure of this?
Listen to me, I am too sure of it.
This may be. He promised to meet me 2 hours since, and he was ever precise in promise-keeping. Well, what has he done?
A woman.
But what's his offense?
Groping for trouts in a peculiar river. He hath got Madame Juliet with child.
Let's go learn the truth of it.
Fellow, why dost thou show me thus to the world? Bear me to prison where I am committed.
I do it not in evil disposition, but from Lord Angelo by special charge.
Thus can the demigod authority make us pay down for our offense by weight. The words of heaven, on whom it will, on whom it will not, so. Yet still 'tis just.
Your Honor, this cannot
We
happen.
must not make a scarecrow of the law, setting it up to fear the birds of prey, and let it keep one shape till custom make it their perch and not their terror.
Aye, but yet let us be keen, and rather cut a little than fall and bruise to death. Alas, this gentleman, whom I would save, had a most noble father.
The sins of the son
Let
are
but
never
your
known.
honor know, whom I believe to be most straight in virtue, whether you had not some time in your life erred in this point which now you censure him, and pulled the law upon you.
'Tis one thing to be tempted, Aeschylus, another thing to fall. I not deny, the jury passing on the prisoner's life may in the sworn 12 have a thief or two guiltier than him they try. What's open made to justice, that justice seizes. What knows the laws that thieves do pass on thieves? 'Tis very pregnant. The jewel that we find, we stoop and take it, because we see it. But what we do not see, we tread upon and never think on it. You may not so extenuate his offence, for I have had such faults. But rather, tell me, when I that censure him do so offend, let mine own judgment pattern out my death, and nothing come impartial. Sir, he must die.
Be it as your wisdom will.
Provost,
Your Honor,
see that Claudio be executed by 9 tomorrow morning. Bring him his confessor, let him be prepared, for that's the utmost of his pilgrimage.
One word, good friend.
Why, how now, Claudio? Whence comes this restraint?
From too much liberty, my Lucio. Liberty. As surfeit is the father of much fast, so every scope, by the immoderate use, turns to restraint. Our natures do pursue, like rats, that raven down their proper bane, a thirsty evil, and when we drink, we die.
If I could speak so wisely under an arrest, I would send for certain of my creditors. And yet, to say the truth, I had as lief have the foppery of freedom as the morality of imprisonment. What's thy offense, Claudio?
What but to speak of would offend again.
What, is it murder?
No.
Lechery?
Call it so.
away, sir, we must go.
One word, good friend. Lucio, a word with you.
100 if they'll do you any good. Is lechery so looked after?
Thus stands it with me. Upon a true contract, I got possession of Julietta's bed. You know the lady, she is fast my wife. Save that we do the denunciation lack of outward order. This we came not to, only for propagation of a dower, remaining in the coffer of her friends, from whom we thought it meet to hide our love, till time had made them for us. But it chances, the stealth of our most mutual entertainment, with character too gross, is writ on Juliet.
With child, perhaps?
Unhappily, even so. And that new deputy now for the Duke, whether it be the fault and glimpse of newness, whether the tyranny be in his place or in his eminence that fills it up, I stagger in. But this new governor awakes me, all the enrolled penalties, which have, like unscoured armor, hung by the wall so long,
The 19 zodiacs have gone round, and none of them been worn. And for a name, now puts the drowsy and neglected act freshly on me. 'Tis surely for a name.
I warrant it is. And thy head stands so tickle on thy shoulders that a milkmaid, if she be in love, may sigh it off. Send after the Duke and appeal to him.
I've done so, but he isn't to be found. I prithee, Lucio, do me this kind service. This day my sister should the cloister enter, and there receive her approbation. Acquaint her with the danger of my state. Implore her in my voice that she make friends to the strict deputy. Bid herself assay him. I have great hope in that, for in her youth there is a prone and speechless dialect, such as move men, and well she can persuade.
I pray she may, as well for the encouragement of the like as for the enjoying of thy life, who I would be sorry should be thus foolishly lost at a game of tic-tac. I'll to her.
I thank thee, Lucio.
Within 2 hours.
Come, officer, away.
Who's that which calls?
Peace be in this place.
Ah, it is a man's voice, gentle Isabella. Know his business of him. You may, I may not. You are yet unsworn. When you have vowed, you must not speak with men, but in the presence of the prioress. Then if you speak, you must not show your face, or if you show your face, you must not speak. He calls again. I pray you answer him.
Peace and prosperity. Who is it that calls?
Hail, virgin, if you be. Can you so stead me as bring me to the sight of Isabella, a novice of this place and the fair sister to her unhappy brother Claudio?
Why her unhappy brother, let me ask? The rather for I now must make you know I am that Isabella and his sister.
Your brother kindly greets you. Not to be weary with you, he's in prison.
Woe me, for what?
For that which if myself might be his judge, he would receive his punishment in thanks. He hath got his friend with child.
Sir, make me not your story.
'Tis true. I would not, though. 'Tis my familiar sin with maids to seem the lapwing and to jest, tongue far from hard play with all virgins so. I hold you as a thing enskied and sainted, and to be talked with in sincerity as with a saint.
You do blaspheme the good in mocking me.
Do not believe it. Fewness in truth 'tis thus. Your brother and his lover have embraced, as those that feed grow full as blossoming time, that from the seedness the bare fallow brings to teeming poison. Even so, her plenteous womb expresseth his full tilth and husbandry.
Someone with child by him? My cousin Juliet?
Is she your cousin?
Adoptedly, as schoolmates change their names. My vain though apt affection.
She it is.
Oh, let him marry her.
That is the point. The Duke is very strangely gone from hence. Upon his place and with full line of his authority governs Lord Angelo, a man whose blood is very snow broth, one who never feels the wanton stings and motions of the sense. He, to give fear to use and liberty, which have for long run by the hideous law as mice by lions, hath picked out an act, under whose heavy sins your brother's life falls into forfeit. He arrests him on it, and follows close the rigor of the statute to make him an example. All hope is gone, unless you have the grace, by your fair prayer, to soften Angelo. And that's my pitha business twixt you and your poor brother.
Doth he so seek his life?
He censured him already, and as I hear, the provost hath a warrant for his execution.
Alas, what poor abilities in me to do him good?
Assay the power you have.
My power, alas, I doubt.
Our doubts are traitors, and makes us lose the good we oft might win by fearing to attempt. Go to Lord Angelo, and let him learn to know when maidens sue, men give like gods. But when they weep and kneel, all their petitions are as freely theirs as they themselves would owe them.
I'll see what I can do.
But speedily.
I will about it straight, no longer staying but to give the mother notice of my affair. I humbly thank you. Commend me to my brother. Soon at night, I'll send him certain word of my success.
I take my leave of you.
Good sir, adieu.
Now what's the matter, Provost?
Is it your will Claudio shall die tomorrow?
Did not I tell thee yea? Hadst thou not order? Why dost thou ask again?
Lest I might be too rash, under your good correction, I have seen, when after execution judgment had repented over his doom.
Go to, let that be mine. Do you your office, or give up your place, and you shall be well spared.
I crave your honour's pardon. What shall be done, sir, with the groaning Juliet? She is very near her hour.
Dispose of her to some more fitter place, and that with speed. Aeschylus?
Here is the sister of the man condemned. Desires access to you.
Hath he a sister?
I, my good lord, a very virtuous maid, and to be shortly of a sisterhood, if not already.
Well, let her be admitted. See you the fornicatress be removed. Let her have needful but not lavish means. There shall be order for it.
God save your honor.
You're welcome. What's your will?
I am a woeful suitor to your honor. Please, but your honor, hear me.
Well, what's your suit?
There is a vice that most I do abhor, and most desire should meet the blow of justice, for which I would not plead but that I must, for which I must not plead but that I am at war twixt will and will not.
Well, the matter.
I have a brother is condemned to die. I do beseech you, let it be his fault and not my brother.
Condemn the fault and not the actor of it. Why, every fault's condemned ere it be done. Mine were the very cipher of a function to find the faults whose fine stands in record and let go by the actor.
Just, but severe law. I had a brother then. Heaven keep your honor.
Give not over so. To him again entreat him. You are too cold.
Must he needs die?